Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, 1 Mile. So this just came out. Sometimes I talk about how they normally release the new movies on demand on Tuesday, and on Friday they sneak some stuff out. Normally it's a more popular movie, but you always got to pay attention to the emails. I get emails from Fandango telling me, and they trying to suggest new movies from them. And this one came out on Friday, and it might be straight to DVD, but it has Ryan Phillippe in it, who I like. Thomas C. Howe, or C. Thomas Howe. C. Thomas Howe, sorry. Um, and that's enough for me, to be honest. And it's interesting because it's two parts. There's two different chapters. So there's 1 Mile chapter one, 1 Mile chapter two. And this one's an hour and 30 minutes long. I'm assuming the second one's probably similar. So um, an ex-Special Forces operative goes off the grid when his daughter is kidnapped by a violent community. Alone and outnumbered, he is forced to use every skill he has to track them down, take them apart, and bring his daughter home. So, whatever we're going to see in the next hour and a half, hour and 29 minutes, it's not going to be enough. We're going to have to watch it again. We're going to have to watch the second one. Psychological thriller, action, adventure, drama, thriller, 5.5 on IMDb, but only 244 people rated it so far. So a little, you know, off the beaten path kind of movie. So I don't know. I'm excited. Probably watch this one tonight, and then the second one tomorrow night, hopefully. If it's good enough, we'll see. So, oh, excuse me, I'm yawning already. Hopefully, that's not any indication of what the movie's going to be. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey, everybody. We're at the credits of 1 Mile, Chapter 1. Short movie. And I like it because now you know there's a sequel and there's a second part to all this. So that's kind of fun. I like it, and I like the movie. It's like one of those. You've seen the other ones. I forget what they're. The baker, the candlestick maker, the bricklayer, where they're all ex-military and they have to come back out. And save the world. Right. I've talked about that many times, but it still worked. Right. So Ryan Phillippe, I think is the way you say it, is a it seems like an estranged dad to his daughter. He's in the army. He's just recently retired, but it seems like he's special forces. He's got all the tools to do that. And for some reason or another, he has to come back and take his daughter on college visits. Oddly enough, that's what I did today. Obviously I don't look like Ryan Phillippe, and neither do I have the skills. But I did take my daughter, on college visits, and they're doing this. So it kind of hit a little bit home. I thought that was cool, but he's trying to reconnect with his daughter also. Evidently, him being in the army has put a strain on their relationship, and so they're disconnected a little bit. She's not too happy, so you got that whole rebellious daughter type piece to all of this. But they're going out to these colleges, and for some reason, and you see, obviously they have to camp out for a night, and this is all set up as well. But as they're camping out, these I don't know hillbillies, I'll call them. I don't know, people who live in the woods, come out of nowhere and start to cause problems. So these are people who live in the woods, and it seems like they're a little cultish. We don't have a lot. We have a little bit. I don't want to spoil it all for you, but Thomas C. Howe seems like C. Thomas Howe seems like he's the head of all of this, and he's got a bunch of members with him. And I thought this was interesting. I wanted to call this out real quick because a lot of these guys you see in other movies, like as like the bad guy. Richard Harmon is one that I noticed. I was like, I know that guy. I've seen him in other things, and you've seen him in very similar roles. And the other one was Michael Eklund. Uh, uh, Michael Eklund looks like Hans Gruber to me, but Hans Gruber. I forget the guy who's played that. Richard, you know who I mean. I'm not gonna look it up, but anyway, that's what he looks like in this. So they stand out a little bit in there, and there's like his henchmen or whatever. And one thing I liked was they had like in the woods they had this like little bar and pool table. It's like, oh, it'd be cool. Like imagine if like you just lived in the woods and you could go to the bar right there, like you owned and whatever. But that's neither here nor there. But like I connected with it because I'm a father, taking my daughter on college tours, all that kind of stuff. But like, I'm also jealous of like Ryan Phillippe. I mean, not the fact that he was estranged from his family, but you know, like I said, you would think as a father you're going to do everything you can to protect your family. Well, in this case, he can. You know what I mean? That's not just like, he's got like hand to hand combat. He's got the MacGyver skills. He's got it all. So you enjoy that aspect. You hope that you're never put in that situation, but when you are, you want to rise to the Ryan Phillippe standard. But there you go. That's what I got. I enjoyed it a lot. I just probably because of the connection. I think anybody else, maybe it's your run of the mill kind of situation, right? The movies we've seen like this before, very similar. But besides that, the other piece of it that there is a part two. And so it's not like, oh, they're gonna make another movie. No, they already did. They made a part two. So I like that. I like that a lot. I like that concept. They should do that more often. They say that sometimes. I forget what the last movie was. They were supposed to come out very like 28 years came out pretty quickly, but not right back to back. And I think that would make a lot of sequels better. I think so. There you go. We'll see. Tune in tomorrow night for the chapter 2 review because I am excited to see it and I will put that up there. Not sure how long it is, but that's it. Probably not as long as this review, that's for sure. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.